Hey guys, welcome to Tech Connect. I'm Rivers, and today I'm going to show you a new Android media player called the Probox2 Air. I've tested a lot of these Android media players, and I'm really excited about this one because it's got new hardware with a compact form factor, and it gives you Android 6.01 Marshmallow, which has some great new features as well, plus a new launcher that I'm really excited about. So come on and take a closer look with me. First up, let's take a look at the styling of the Probox2 Air. Now it has a new design with a thinner, more compact body. I love the size, shape, and the looks of this player. You can see it's even smaller than its predecessor, the Probox2 EX, and it's thinner than most other players that I've used as well. I think it looks very tasteful sitting on my shelf by the TV. Internally, it's got some nice specs too, including an Amlogic S905X system on a chip, 2 gigs of DDR3 DRAM, 16 gigs of flash storage, and it's expandable via Adoptable Storage. This chipset is highly optimized for video playback. It supports all sorts of media playback formats from 4K at 60 frames per second video to H.265 with 10-bit color and VP9, which is the future of ultra high definition video playback on the internet. It's also got just the right assortment of ports. On the back there's an optical audio out, 100 megabit Ethernet, HDMI 2.0 capable of ultra high definition at 60 frames per second, and a USB port. On the side there's also another USB port and a micro SD card slot. Now let's take a look at the software. So this is Probox's new launcher, and it was designed in Sweden and made so that it can be controlled with a toggle remote control. All the main things that you need are on one page, and if you toggle to the apps you can select each individual app. It's also got a customizable weather widget for wherever you are, and these indicators that show the different ports that are active. You can also eject your USB storage device from here. And check this out. You hold these double arrows down and you get your choice of launchers from whatever you have installed. They call it the one-click UI swap, and it lets you quickly jump into a different launcher. So here I've got Nova Launcher, which is what I spend most of my time using. How cool is that, right? This is perfect for me because I usually have a lot of launchers installed. Now the one catch is it doesn't make that new launcher your home launcher because you'd have no way to get back, so it always takes you back to the Probox launcher when you hit home, but you can use an app like Home Switcher to reset whatever default launcher you want. Now let's look at another really cool feature on the Probox, and that is Adoptable Storage. Since it's running Marshmallow 6.01, you can use an SD card as additional storage for apps and things that the operating system would use, plus you can also use that for file storage as well. The catch is that if you use a micro USB card or USB drive for Adoptable Storage, you don't want to remove it because any apps that you installed will have been installed on that card or drive, and if you remove it, you'll be removing the apps. Also, I tested this on several different cards, and I couldn't get cards over 64 gigabytes to show the full amount of storage. Now, when you use a 128 gigabyte micro SD card, it does work for regular storage, but for Adoptable Storage, 64 gigs was the limit. You also need a card that's fast and has a decent amount of speed so that apps can run normally off of it. U1 and better cards usually work best. I'll put a link to cards I've tested and I know work on here in the description down below. Next up, I ran a quick benchmark in Geekbench, which tests the things you would find in all kinds of different apps, so it's kind of an overall system score. It got around 600 for the single core and 1600 in the multi-core, which is pretty good for a media player. I checked, and this is almost the exact same score as the very popular Minix U1, which runs the plain Amlogic S905 chipset. Now the Probox runs the S905X, which is a newer version of the same chip, so it gets about the same score. But this chip has improvements like HDR video, VP9 video, and of course it has support for Android 6.01 Marshmallow. One other cool thing that this player does is it has something called CEC, which lets the box control the TV through HDMI. So if you have a newer TV, you can turn on the Probox2 Air and the TV will power on too. Okay, one more test, this time with speed.net, and this tests your internet speed. Since I have a super fast connection, I want to see how fast it goes over the Wi-Fi to the network. And earlier I was getting speeds of up to 110 megabits per second, so I think the Wi-Fi signal is nice and strong on here. Next up we have the screen mirroring test, and you can see here with my iPhone 6s it works great. They always work great on these Android media boxes with iPhones because they have a third-party app that does the AirPlay and it works really well. So you can see here I can even play a video game and watch the screen and it worked pretty good. And it comes with an included DNLA streaming app that lets you stream from your iOS device. You can set it to auto start when the device starts. And then there's a separate app that you need to use for Android, and it's the screen mirroring app. If you run that, then you can mirror the screen even with a Galaxy Note 7 like this guy right here. And it worked really good with the processing power of the Note, even here on Google Earth, which is a pretty demanding app. And finally, if you follow the link in the description down below, you can get the Probox2 Air with this remote, which is called the Remote Plus. And this is actually my favorite remote. I use it with all my Android boxes usually. It works great. It has the Air Mouse function, plus functions that work just with the Probox, like the power button. You can even use it for some light gaming. Here I'm playing a game called Alpha Wave, and it's no problem to play. I also connected up my Amazon Fire TV controller via Bluetooth to the Probox2 Air, and it connected right up, and I played a little Asphalt 8 with no problems. In fact, it was very nice and no lag, so very happy there. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this up with a list of pros and cons. First, the cons, and this could change if firmware is updated, but I wish the mouse pointer was a bit bigger. I saw a flicker on the screen once about every 4 to 5 minutes. Also, is there a way to turn off the blue light? I hope there is. If not, it'd be nice to add it. And finally, when I try to exit out of Kodi, sometimes it would just be stuck in Kodi and I couldn't get out once I hit the exit button. Now these are all things that could be fixed with a firmware update. They are pretty minor, and there's a lot of good things that I'll mention now. And now for the pros. They were pretty much everything that I showed in the video, but I really liked the small new form factor. I liked Android Marshmallow 6 was amazing. Assumable storage is what was truly needed, and the one-click UI switching is something new that I haven't seen before that I really liked. And finally, I really like that the Probox2 Air is highly optimized for video playback, because that's what I do most of the time on my media players. Alright everyone, thanks so much for watching my review. Be sure and check out Future Twist, who provided the music for this review, in the description down below. And hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Take care you guys, and as always, aloha.